All right, I am continuing now to read Pharaoh, the Desert of Desolation module for the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons game, module number I3. I'm going to be starting now. We're up to the Kordan's Master Maze, and this is 5 pages, so there's a lot to read here. It's a crazy map. We'll see how this goes. I'll keep that out. If you're just clicking on this now because you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, I have this all in a playlist, so you can start from the beginning. I will put the playlist in the description below. Click on it and you'll start right at the beginning. I also have several other playlists of things that I'm reading. I am reading this book called The Impersonal Life by Joseph Benner. I will put the link to the playlist for that so you can listen to it if you'd like. I'm also reading this great book, Terry Brooks's Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold. It's an amazing fantasy book, so if you like fantasy, click on the playlist link and it'll start with my review of the book, and then I will read it. I'm reading it. I'm going through it little by little. I've also written 2 D&D novels, fantasy novels, full-length novels. I'm going to show you the books now. They're huge. Forestera's Fate. I have narrated both books on my channel, and I will include the links for those books again so that you can listen to these books at your leisure. I think that's all I need to tell you. Well, I also wrote 2 short stories. There they are. These are very thin. These are small. Where these are kind of thick. This is a full novel with illustrations too. There are illustrations in the first book. All right. But again, that's all there in playlists. It'll make it very easy. So let's begin because there's a lot to read here. Maze Prologue. Background. This is the maze level of Amun-Re's tomb. It has impressive magical spells that confuse direction and distance in certain areas. A clear understanding of the function of the maze will be necessary to run this section of the adventure. Take time to study the details of area L14 below. And L14 is all of that stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff labeled L14. So let's see. I can't remember how this works. Directions in the maze. While in the maze, players will not know which way is north, south, east, or west. Give all directional descriptions as left, right, straight ahead, or behind. For example, a description of a typical maze might be you enter the end of a 10-foot wide by 30-foot long corridor with arched exits in the center of the left and right walls. Not knowing the compass directions, the players will also have to give their directions in terms of left and right. Well, who cares how they give them? I'm not worried about that. Random encounters. Check for an encounter every 3 game turns, so every 30 minutes. Roll 1d6. If the result is a 1, an encounter takes place. So that would mean the average encounter occurs every 3 hours. Okay. Roll 1d12 to determine which encounter to use from the maze random encounter table below. Wizard. There are his stats. He's got a 6 hit die wizard, okay, and he's neutral good. So he has memorized spells. He stumbled in here some time ago looking for magical items. He can use these spells at 6th level. So those are his spells: Charm Person, Comprehend, all of that. If this wizard has been encountered before, ignore this result and roll again on this table for another encounter. So there's one wizard walking around in this maze by himself. It's a little... okay, not sure about that. Minotaur. Okay, so there's a Minotaur in the maze. Is he trapped in a maze? Is this just, fun irony here? I don't know. Doppelgangers. 3 doppelgangers. Roll on the doppelganger encounter table below to determine their appearance. Okay. Sharpers. No clue what sharpers are. Thune dervishes. I know what they are. So how did they get in here? Oh, that's right. They stood on the flaming bowl. I guess that's what happened, and they disappeared, and they were here. These are members of the Thune leader's party that have become separated from their ground in the maze. 3 minotaurs. Really? Okay, and then we have 10 ghouls. So you've got all of these creatures in here, and the odds of running into one is, on average, you'll only encounter one every 3 hours. I mean, it is a big place, but okay, I'm not sure. Seems odd to me. If this is all, if everything is trapped in the maze and they can't get out, wouldn't they just starve to death? There's another question. Cut purses. And that's another thing I have about my problem with this. In the random encounter table with the temple, there's dwarves and bandits and giant rats. What are dwarves doing here, and why are there dwarves but no elves or halflings or just dwarves? Why? Why are they here, and where did the giant rats come from? 35 of them too. This module, as great as this module is not really explaining why these things are here. What are dwarves doing walking around in the desert? Where do they come from? And why only dwarves? I'm confused. 12 minotaurs? Holy moly. That's a little excessive. Even for a party of 5th to 7th level characters, that 12. Okay. I'm confused. 1 doppelganger, 3 doppelgangers. Okay. And then more Thune dervishes and giant spiders. 3 giant spiders. All right. Doppelganger encounter table. When doppelgangers appear in a random encounter, they will take the form of their last victims as a disguise. Yeah, how has that wizard not been taken by a doppelganger? Just curious. And apparently, or let alone the Thune dervishes. I mean, if there's minotaurs and doppelgangers walking around in this maze, wouldn't the Thune dervishes, and I don't know what the sharpers are, and the wizard all have been killed or taken over by doppelgangers? Killed by minotaurs, taken over by, I don't know. I'm very confused right now. Because, random encounters have to make sense to me. Otherwise, I don't bother with them. And I like random encounters. I will make my own random encounter table if I don't like the encounter table in the module. And right now I'm confused by it. So I might modify it if I ever run this. To determine their forms, the doppelgangers will also be wearing the clothes of their last victims. 1, fighter elves in glistening chainmail armor. So there were fighter elves in here. Dirty and cagey dwarven knights, wise to the ways of the tomb. Wise to the ways of the tomb. Dwarven knights, you say? Okay, there was no such thing in AD&D at that time. Pious clerical men on the quest to free the curse. Okay, wizard men come to discover the secrets of Kordan, the archmage. The doppelgangers will not actually have magical abilities, although they will pretend to possess them. Jolly halfling thieves on an outing. So you have halflings and elves in here. Well, victims were elves and thieves. Haggard rangers of few words and many actions. Yeah, I need more information before I do stuff like that. Why are there doppelgangers in the maze? How did they get trapped in the maze? Again, no explanation. That's not good. Maze encounters. Welcome room. Okay, so now this is where they get teleported in, right there to L13. When they step on the bowl, that's where they are. That's very cool. You are in an octagonal room, 30 feet across. 4 10-foot square wall segments separate 4 10-foot wide arched exits. Oh, those are arched exits, so there's no door. I guess. There is a dome ceiling 30 feet above the floor. Sheesh. A skeleton lies in the center of the floor, holding a sword in his extended arm above his head. This points toward one of the exits. Each exit is filled with a rust orange mist that is slightly sulfuric in smell. Interesting. There is a lever set in each wall and a sign above each lever saying, "Pull me," in several languages. The levers pull upwards. Strange. His extended arm above his head, this points toward one of the exits. Let's look at that again. Interesting. Play. If the players have just entered this level. They will have teleported in from room L4 in the plundered tomb and will not know which direction is north. Players teleporting in will appear in the center of the room facing in a random direction. The wall levers are trap trick. The skeleton sword points towards the west exit, so we're going there. Okay. All right. If a character lifts the lever up on any of the walls, a powerful magnetic field is set up in the dome, pulling armor, etc., up to the dome. Anyone flying up to the dome in their armor will take 1 to 8 points of damage. The field remains in effect until all of the levers are pulled down. Those stuck in the dome, when the field is turned off, will naturally fall 30 feet to the floor. 3 to 18 points of damage unless other precautions have been taken. Those on the ground will take damage from falling objects and persons unless they get out of the way. Wait, why isn't everybody going up? Powerful set up in the dome, pulling armor. Anyone, okay. Set up in the dome, pulling armor up to the dome. So wouldn't they all go up to the top and then wouldn't they just be stuck up there? Anyone flying up to the dome in their armor will take... How do you not, who is not going to fly up to the ceiling? If a character lifts the lever on any of the walls, a powerful magnetic field is set up in the dome, pulling armor, etc., up to the dome. See, I'm going to put a lever at the top so they can pull it again to fall down. Because who's on the ground? Those on the ground will take who's on the ground? Will take damage from falling objects. It's like they didn't think this through. And how do you not think this through? Do you not read through this? Did you not play this module and say, oh, we should explain that better? So confused. And I hope the rest of this maze is not this poorly done. But let's see. This is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, please let me know if I'm wrong and I'm just missing it. So now we have all the L14s. Entering the mist, you feel slightly lightheaded. I like this. Your mind wanders as you walk along. You cannot see anything even by torchlight. So you're going to have random encounters with others that can't see anything, including doppelgangers, minotaurs, a wizard, and whatever sharpers are, let alone the dervishes. I'm so confused. While in the mist, the characters cannot see anything. The mist diffuse all light so well that even very bright lights will appear as just bright haze. Also, the characters cannot count and have no sense of distance while in the mist. They cannot judge distances. How in the hell are you going to map this then? Or remember how far they travel? All of the turns in the misted corridors are rounded so that the characters who are feeling their way along the walls will not notice that they have rounded a corner. Oh, I think you'd notice if you're rounding a corner. I think you could figure that out. I don't see how you couldn't figure that out. All warm-blooded creatures, am I wrong? All warm-blooded creatures passing through the mist will leave heat traces detectable with infravision for one full turn. Because of these effects, while the characters are in the maze section, the DM must describe the areas to the players in terms of left and right. How left and right? They can't see anything. Rather than the compass points. When the characters step out of the mist, tell them. Suddenly the mists separate and your mind instantly clears. Each clear section of the maze is detailed below. So the clear sections are... okay, So it's only the parts that are misted. The mist. The mist. Okay. So when they're out of it, they can see. Okay, so it's not all mist, obviously. All right, so let's see. A. 14A is here. Is that the only A? No, there's an A here. There's an A up here. Okay. Interesting. The mist part to reveal a 10-foot by 30-foot section of clear corridor with mists filling the archways at both ends. Archways lead out from the center of both side walls and are also filled with mists. 14B. So there's B. Just checking to see if there's more. Is that the only? No, there's B here. Oops, you can't see it. Okay, so there's B there. There's a B up here. Any more? I don't see any more. All right. You are in a 10-foot square section of clear corridor with the mist filling the archway at one end and a heavy plank door at the other. All right, so then C, 14, L14C. Let me pause. All right, so all three here say 14B, and unless I've missed it, this is the only 14C right here, unless I missed something. The mist part to reveal a 10-foot by 30-foot section of clear corridor with mist filling the archways at both ends. Archways lead out from the center of both side walls and are also filled with mist. Leather sacks lie at the end of the corridor. Treasure, the sack contains 510 gold pieces. What, did you need treasure in here? So you just put a sack with 510 gold pieces? Leather sacks lie at the end of the corridor. Leather sacks. You're not even saying how many sacks. Is it 510 total or 510 per sack? This is poorly written. My God, this is poorly written. So here's a D, I think, and there might be more. You are in a 10-foot. This is very this is not good. You are in a. I thought this was a great module. So far, I'm so disappointed. You are in a 10-foot square section of clear corridor with the mist filling the archway at one end and a heavy plank door at the other. A hammer lies by the door. This is a +1 hammer. Wow. This is dumber than Gary's random treasures and random monsters. I'm so confused by this. Just hey, there's a +1 hammer. It's just laying there. Yeah, no one's picked it up. All these creatures walking around in here for how long have they been here? Days? Weeks? This makes no sense at all. So then we have E somewhere around here. The mist part to reveal a 10-foot by 30-foot section of clear corridor with mist filling the archways at both ends. Archways lead out from the center of both, blah, 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 blah. On the floor in the center of the area is a ring that appears to be made of fine silver. Base 20% chance for characters to detect a fresh breeze from the north exit. The ring is explained in treasure. Let me find this. All right, so I believe that's the only L14E. To the YouTube channel Yield Geek, if you see this, if you see this video, can you please help me out? Give me some guidance. What am I missing? How is this not a really badly written thing so far? Base 20% chance for characters to detect a fresh breeze, because he gave a great review of this module. Really good. I'll try to put the link to his review also in the description. If I remember, I will put it in the description below. Detect a fresh breeze. The ring is explained in treasure. The ring is a ring of contrariness. Any character who puts on this ring will never agree with anyone else's ideas or actions and will take the opposite opinion whenever possible. Say left when he wants to go right, and go, blah, blah, blah. He will defend his point of view even by fighting, but will never harm himself. Will never harm himself. Okay. The ring has the additional magical property of flying. The ring will not come off until the remove curse spell is cast upon the wearer. Because of the curse, the wearer will resist all attempts. Okay, so just random stuff is put in here so far. L14F, you enter corridor, colored mist. There is a base chance 40% for characters to detect a cool, fresh breeze. Okay, you are in a 10-foot corridor. On the door in common speech is written, knock first. The sign is to alert the bandits inside that there are foolish adventurers about to come in. Let's check where this is. Alrighty, there's 14G. Okay. H, you are same thing. The archways are filled with mist, and the fourth is blocked by a heavy wooden door. E, F, G. Gotta pause again. All right. There. Whoops, you're off the map. H are here. So there's H. Okay. You are fresh, cool breeze. The sound of tumbling torrents of water will be heard. It is heard if listening to the door. I'm not going to keep reading these descriptions because they're all the same. So let's see where I is. Okay, I think this is the only one that's L14I. And you can hear the water. Okay, but there's only a slight chance of hearing the water, right? tumbling towards water can be heard if listening. Okay, if listening is successful. All right, J, the stench of carrion can be detected from the south exit 10% of the time. H-I-J, got to pause. Okay, it took forever, but there's one J. It's the only one I found. I'm so confused. What was the point? What was the point of that? Okay, now we have K. No, that was the one I already read. No, same thing, stench of carrion. So what is different about J versus K? It looks exactly the same. So what the heck was the point of separating J and K? Not even going to look. L, the mist part, blah, 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 also filled with mists. Lying on the floor is the skeleton of a person who seems to have died while pulling a sled with pulling a sled with 3 chests on it. There are 2 chests on the bottom with the third on top of them. There's a base 20% chance for characters to detect the stench of carrion in the north exit. The skeleton is harmless. The trap, when the top chest is open, it shoots out drug-tipped darts in an arc ranging from the straight up to directly in front of the chest. All characters directly in front of the box must make a dexterity check or be hit by some of the darts. Everyone who is hit must save its poison or be paralyzed for 1 to 20 turns. Contains only old used orc socks. The bottom 2 chests each contain 500 gold pieces. So he's just making up random stuff just to put treasure in here? I wouldn't put anything in here. Isn't the goal of this maze to get out of it? Why have this? I'm so confused. So that appears to be the only L14L, I think. Or I missed it. M, the missed part to reveal a T-shaped intersection. Oh, let's see where that is. Okay, something different. There we go. Each branch is 10 feet long and disappears into the rust orange mist. Strewn all about are bodies in various states of decay. In the center of the area lies the body of a man on his back with a bright and shining sword sticking through him into the stone floor. See, I wouldn't have any of these creatures wandering around here. Everything would be like this. They would have died. This is what it would. So far, I don't have any wandering monsters in this place. Because maybe some would still be alive, but they'd be starving. The shining sword is the only usable piece of equipment to be found among the bodies in the room. Anyone specifically looking with care at the sword will notice a word inscribed into the blade near the hilt, Enduval. The sword is a cursed berserking sword, which, when first used in combat, will force its user to attack the nearest person, friend or foe, +2 to hit. The person holding the sword is forced to continue attacking until either his opponent or he is killed. Only exercise or wish spell. Well, it's a +2 sword, so it's not all that cursed. I don't see that curse as really being that effective. Even your cursed item is a +2 to hit weapon. See, if it was -2 to hit weapon, that would be a cursed item. The fact that you're forced to continue attacking until he's dead, well, you're going to do that anyway. I will not stop hitting you until you die. Darn it, this sword. It's forcing me to kill this man. Why would you not? You're attacking him. This is so bizarre. Even their cursed sword is a +2 weapon. I'm lost. Okay, another section. There is a base chance the character's stench. Oh, the stench again. So we had to separate that from the other stench. Okay, again, making no sense. The stench, again, more making no sense. More, no sense. Finally, we get to Q and something different. Wow. A leather knapsack lies on the floor next to the door. Let's see where this is. Okay, I give up. I'm looking for Q. Here's M, O, P, P, P. No Q. No Q over here that I can see. No Q over here that I can see. Maybe I'm missing it. And no Q here. So I don't see Q anywhere. And Q is at a door. Within the knapsack, there are 2 scrolls written by a 6th level wizard, 1 would fly spell and fireball spell. There's also a leather pouch containing 1,000 gold pieces. Why? Random treasure. Isn't the treasure when you, at the end? Why are you putting random treasures in a maze of mist with creatures walking around where you can't see? And this is, not one thing has made sense yet. So now we're going to get a +3 ring of protection because, we got to have some really good magical items in here. Boy, where in the world are these other places? Oh, there's Q. There it is. I found it. I finally found Q. Okay. Wow. I am looking for other stuff, but I'm not going to even worry about it. I'll let you look for it on the map. R. A bright and glowing ring sits on the floor. Oh, here's a ring just sitting on the floor. It's +3 ring of protection. That makes absolutely no sense. They are not even explaining where the treasures come from. They're just, this is a bad module, folks. I'm sorry, this is bad. Yield Geek, help me out. I don't get it. I'm really, really confused. He might not watch this. He might not see this, but if he does, I hope he'll comment because I really, really like his review of this module. It's very cool. All right, S, the trail from one end of the other ragged trail of gold pieces leads down to the center of the corridor, turns sharply and disappears into the mist. The trail starts at the east end of the clear section of the corridor, where there are no coins to be found in the mist. The value of the coins is treasure. Oh, there's a trail of coins, and it's 130, and it doesn't mean anything. There's no reason for the trail. There's no... Okay. Waiting for something to make sense. A trail of platinum pieces, and we got 152. Because, the party needs treasure. So we're just going to just lay it around here in random places. And all these people walking around in here, none of them picked up this stuff. The dervishes, the minotaur, the doppelgangers, the wizard, all this stuff is just laying around and they just, nobody picks it up. It's just laying there. This makes 0 sense. This is dumb. T-shaped intersection, each branch. Oh, there's a T-shaped intersection. Glad you told me that. There's a plank door in the center of each wall. Grieving elves. Maybe this will make sense. Bones litter the floor, standing about the room, mourning over the bones are 5 elves. The figures are not elves, but doppelgangers, who have formed themselves into the image of the victims they destroyed. Who are these people they destroyed? Where did they destroy them? When did they destroy them? No explanation is given. In order to fool and join another group for yet another... This is just like random dungeon randomness for no reason at all. They will maintain their illusions until it becomes advantageous for them to change. Their main objective is to lead each of the party members away one at a time, destroy them, and take his place in the party. And do what? They're trapped in the maze. I'm scrapping all of this if I'm the DM. I'm going to come up with something different where they are teleported to. I won't even bother with this at this point. Or there's got to be something, and I'll use that something, and I'll have maybe a small amount of mist somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like the idea of the mist, but the figures will claim to be grieving elves, having just found their long-lost brethren. They will also claim to know their way through the maze. Oh, really? That's interesting. The trick they will claim is first to send 2 people through the mist with a rope for the others to follow. They will gladly demonstrate by sending one of themselves and a party member. Wow. Oh, the Minotaur lair. Oh, so there is a lair. So is this the Minotaur maze? So this is L16. Okay. Is that where we're going? Because then we've got 17, 18, and 19. And then we've got 20, 21, and 22. So this is what it's all about, right? So there's no reason for any of that random treasure. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So this is where, hopefully, things will start to make sense. Let's see. The heavy plank door opens onto a 30-foot square room, 10-foot walls rising to a flat ceiling. There is a door in the center of each wall. Really? Oh, yeah. Door in the center of each wall. There we go. Okay. In the center of the ceiling is a 10-foot diameter hole. This is the bottom of what appears to be a circular shaft. A large pile of straw lies directly under the shaft. Two hulking shapes move toward you. So right there. Okay. Two minotaurs. They'll attack immediately. There are 4,500 electrums scattered about under the hay. Why? Where did the minotaurs get the electrum pieces? There are... Oh, God. I don't understand. They just sit around in this room. This is where they live. Nowhere to go. No way out. The underside of a trapdoor is found at the top of the shaft, which extends an additional 30 feet above the ceiling of this room. Thieves will roll at plus 10% to activate the door from the side. The door will swing open, however, and therefore whoever opens it must be out of the way or take 1 to 4 points of damage from the dropping doors. This door leads straight up through the ceiling onto the platform in front of the statue in room L52 on page 23. Ah, okay, that thing. All right, let's keep going. Knock, knock. So now we're going to 17, which is way up here. The door opens, reveal 30-foot square room, blah, blah, blah. There are several dark human forms in the room. If the monsters have knocked on the door previous to entry, oh yeah, these are the bandits, 9 bandits. You know, because bandits just hang out in a 30 by 30 room. This is where they live. No, how are they alive? These fellows were searching for the treasure, but now are only interested in finding their way out. Then why are they here? They will join the party if the way out is offered to them. Why wouldn't you more than likely encounter these guys in the mist wandering around lost? Why would they be in here? If they get one look at any treasure worth 500 gold pieces or more, they will attack the party. You've got 500 gold pieces worth of treasure. Attack! Okay, sure, right. Nine bandits of 2 hit die gonna go up against... No, they wouldn't. They're not stupid. This is ridiculous. This is a 30-foot square room, blah, blah, blah. In the center of the room is a chest. The chest is not real, but is part of a creature set to lure the party toward it. A trapper is in this room. Victims caught in a trapper may not attack it and suffocate within 6 rounds. Yeah. So we just put a random monster here just to do it. Okie dokie. Well of questions. Oh, now we've got some stuff here. So this could be interesting. And I'm wondering if that's this. You enter a 30-foot room, platform directly across the room from the door. In the center of the room, circular well 10 feet in diameter surges with clean water. Water rushes at a rate of 3 foot 5 foot. A large figure lies prone upon the platform, its deep brown eyes glaring at you. Now, hold on a second. So this is L19. And the water goes over here to a shaft. Okay. Which is going to kick you out. Interesting. Players encountered a monster who will be fairly friendly. Okay. Players falling into the fast-running stream under the platform will encounter a trap. Those examining will encounter a trap. Water is water of Athos, right? We know that. Line on the platform is, oh, it's an androsphinx. I thought it was a, what did I think that was? The stupid thing with the spiky tails. Manticore. It's not. It's an androsphinx. Okay, so yeah, they're good. And who will make no aggressive move towards the party. The Sphinx will ask the party just what they are doing here. Then he will offer to answer any one question they have about the tomb if the party will answer one of his questions. If he will answer one they have about the tomb if they will answer one of his questions. If, however, the characters cannot answer correctly, he will attempt to eat them. There are many questions the Sphinx could ask, including the original Sphinx question, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 at midday, and 3 in the evening? The answer to that is man, because as a baby he crawls on his hands and knees, later he walks on 2 feet, and the old man he walks with a cane. You can also try this one. All the people who lived in the west side of Bindon lie all of the time. All of the people who live on the east side of Bindon tell the truth all of the time, yet during the day both types of people traffic on both sides of the town. It is physically impossible to tell the west siders and the east siders. If you get lost in Bindon, what one question could you ask that would tell you correctly which side of town you're on? The question to ask is, do you live here? If you are on the east side, the answer will always be yes, regardless of who you ask. The opposite will be true if you're on the west side. The Sphinx believes that only people who would know the answer to this riddle should be here. A wrong answer will provoke the Sphinx to attack immediately. There is a base 30% chance, minus the charisma of the asking player, that the Angelo Sphinx will lie. In any event, he only knows about the maze and the entrances to the level. He knows that the only way out of the tomb from this level is down the water chute, but that way is unsafe. He knows nothing about the rest of the tomb's interior. Anyone falling into the fast water will be swept into the duct opening under the Sphinx, which ultimately empties into the silo in the plundered tomb. L29, the plundered tomb. Okay, that's what we just did. L6. Anyone making this trip must make a constitution check and drown if they fail. The well appears to be 10 feet deep in diameter. Looking into the well, a character would see a 10-foot diameter underwater tunnel that enters the well from each side. Water flows into the well through the tunnel. Though the volume of water is high, the well's large size makes the current slow and swimmable, although not in plate armor, of course. Remember that no one takes a torch underwater with much success. In case you didn't know, the water tunnel leads to room L29, halls of the upper priesthood. See the illustration of the cross-section of the well and underwater tunnel. All right, so we're going to eventually go to L29, which is right here. Okay, I guess. Meanwhile, let's go to L20, which is... where? Here. Okay, so 2021, and 22. 30-foot square room. On the far side of the room is a chest openly displaying hundreds of platinum pieces. Along the left-hand wall, there are 4 skeletons pinned by steel spears. A 3-foot wide ledge runs about the base of the dome. Trap must be overcome. This is a concealed door leading from the ledge to L53, halls of the upper priesthood. All right. To L53. L53 is, I guess, there's L53 here and there's L53 here. Those are A, B, C, D, E, F. Where is L53? Yeah, I don't see it. Am I missing it? All right, I just read too fast. L53A. So it leads to L53A, because I was like, there is no L53. The chest contains 500 platinum pieces. The trap trick is honeycombed with 1-inch holes. Each of these contains a spear with a charge of compressed air held in place by a spell. The spells were cast so that anything that passes in front of the holes will release the spears. The spears have a base 80% chance of hitting a character passing before them. Subtract 10% for this for every point of dexterity. If hit by a spear, the force of the impact will pin a character to the opposite wall, doing an initial 1 to 10 points. That's hilarious. With an additional 1 to 4 points of each round, the character is hung on the wall. A pinned character may not free themselves, but may be freed by others with a combined total of 50. Oh, please, somebody can pull a spear out. You need 15 strength, whatever. There are a total of 50 such spears in the wall. That's being nitpicky. Somebody can pull it out. Give me a break. Can't even get that right. This is embarrassing. This module is embarrassing so far. All right, we've got a Band-Aid. No, X marks the spot, right? X room. You enter a 30-foot giant X is carved into the floor in the center of the room. The 3-foot wide ledge that runs around the base of the dome. Standing on the X triggers the trap. There's a concealed door leading from the ledge to 53B, so we know where that is. It's right there, A, B, and C. Okay, in the halls of the upper priesthood. Any weight in excess of 40 pounds. On the X, we'll release a 10-foot square by 4-foot tall stone box from the ceiling, dome directly overhead. Anyone within 10 feet of the X must make an X check or take 2d8 points of damage from the crashing box. The box is empty. Okay. It's a trap. Pendulum. Before you is a 30-foot square room. You see the edge of a scything blade, hanging motionless from a pendulum pole in the room. The blade has been pulled back and tied to the wall facing the doorway. Yikes. Oh, I see. All right. There's a 3-foot wide ledge running around the base of the dome. If the rope holding the pendulum is cut or untied, the blade will swing out towards the door and then back again and back and forth. Each swing will be slightly shorter until after 5 rounds, when it will come to a complete stop in the center of the room. Anyone standing directly in line of the door when the blade is swinging must make it. Why would anyone do that? A concealed door leads from the ledge to the... Yeah, I'll stand here where it'll hit me. Go ahead and cut. Yeah. What? Otherwise, you'll go to 53C. Okay. That's a weird room. Dervish explorers. This door opens. Figures are lined about the room. This is the leader that the dervishes had lost. The Thunes will jump up as if to attack when the characters first enter the room. If the characters attack the dervishes, they will fight. They will jump up as if to attack. If attacked, they will fight. If the characters do not attack, the Thunes will be glad to see them and will join the party if asked. Yes, that's what I want to have happen. Note that they still react as Thune dervishes and will go on blood quest the moment they see this tomb defiled in any way. Oh, so you're probably going to have to kill them anyway. 5 dervishes. Hey, look, they all have 14 hit points as opposed to 2. Wow. Door opens. The door stays open seemingly on its own. The room is empty. That is 24. All right, what's going on here? If anything over 40 pounds enters the room more than 10 feet, the door will slam shut and latch, +2 on rolls to open door from either side, and the walls on the east and west wall will begin to close in. These walls are an irresistible force and take 1 round to come to striking distance. At that point, anyone caught between the walls will be unable to move and will sustain 2 to 20 points of damage per round they are caught. The walls remain together for 3 rounds and then move back. When the walls have moved back, the door will open easily. They're going to completely crush you for 3 rounds at 2 to 20. So technically you could survive that. That's dumb. But okay. 25. An empty room. The room is empty. Hey, there we go. An empty room. So I guess they can rest there. It's not like anything will ever walk in there, right? Those random monsters. Pole Forest, 26. All right, so there's 26. Don't know what's going on there. This is a room full of spears thrust from the floor to the top of the dome ceiling. From the door, you can see the skeletal remains of a dwarf in banded armor stuck fast to the domed ceiling. Even his carrying bag is stuck clear through by one of the shafts. The shafts are 1.5 inches in diameter and spaced about 6 inches apart. Through the spheres, the glint of jewels can be seen some 15 feet away on the floor, apparently spilled from the carrying bag overhead. The room is 30 feet by 30 feet. There's 3-foot wide ledge that runs around the base of the dome. The characters must spend 2 to 8 turns hacking their way to where the treasure is. This will be a noisy process requiring a roll for attracting a wandering monster. You mean the ones that are lost in the mist and can't see a damn thing? Every game turn that the party continues cutting or sawing the poles. Burning the poles will cause a great amount of smoke for 1 to 6 turns. If I ever run this, I am so changing this place. During this time, the players must leave the area or suffer 1 to 4 points of damage each turn. Boy, I'd love to see someone turn this into a mini-series as Desert of Desolation, and we could watch this all happen. I think we'd all be like shaking our heads when they got to the Kordan's Master Maze. It would be fun to see it, though. If only somebody would turn all this stuff into real-life action stuff, or animated stuff, do CGI, The smoke will also require a roll for attracting a wandering monster. If the players manage to make their way onto the ledge at the base of the dome, they might find concealed door to room 53. There's nothing like a maze that you can only get to through a teleportation device that has wandering monsters walking around in it. That makes absolutely no sense. They'd all be dead. This thing has been around for how long? Years. Many, 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 many years. They'd all be dead. This doesn't make any sense at all. I'm so confused as to what I'm reading. Spilled amid the pools here are several worthless gems and 5 jewels worth 1,000 gold pieces each. Several worthless gems? What are they, glass? Gems aren't worthless. And all of that for 5 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each, which is a lot of treasure. But again, extra trap room. Okay. 3-foot wide ledge. There is a concealed door that leads to the ledge to 53. Right. Characters entering the room will be attacked by the monster. The concealed door leads from the ledge to room 53F in the halls of the upper priesthood. 53F is there. So we have D, E, and F right there. And we've got a lurker above because we had a trapper. So let's put a lurker above in here. Sure. Okay. Because, you got to have stuff in here. And we're done. We finished the Kordan's Master Maze. I give Kordan's Master Maze a D-. I want to give it an F because this is terrible, but it's not terrible. I'm going to give it a D. I'm going to up it to a D. This could be made into something really, really cool. There are a couple things in here that I liked. I like the idea of the mist. And I like the idea of a maze that you're teleported into, and the object now is to get out of the maze. The whole point of this is you are trapped in a maze and you must get out, and anyone who's gone in here would be trapped in here. Why are minotaurs in here? Because it's a maze? It's not their maze. If you put minotaurs in here, then you have to keep them alive. They would have to have a way to live in here, because they're not affected by the maze. And the minotaurs shouldn't be affected by the mist. I could even make that case, but I don't know. But the idea that you can get to these rooms, which can lead to ways out, is good. I like that. I might even go up to a D+. I kind of thought this room was interesting. The treasure is nonsensical. There's no reason for any treasure to be in here. Why? It's like, we have to have treasure because the party needs to find treasure. No, they don't. No, treasure is a reward for doing something. Hey, look, we just came out of the mist and here's on this floor. Hey, look, there's treasure here. It's just sitting there. That's completely stupid. That's an F. You don't know how to place treasure. There could be treasure in here somewhere, sure. And there could be things wandering around. I don't know, like, how about undead? Undead could just live in here. They could be trapped in here forever, and they just walk around in here. And that's part of the problem of this maze. Not only do you have to find out how to get out, but, you better hope that the undead don't kill you. Doppelgangers? Where did they come from? See, if you're going to write this, you have to explain what the stuff is doing here. I don't even know what the dwarves are doing here. Why are there dwarves? What are they doing here? Why are there giant rats? Why are there only giant rats? Why is that the only monster? So in the desert, there's giant rats and nothing else other than dervishes and bandits and dwarves. What? So there's no elves, no halflings, no gnomes, no humans other than dervishes and bandits. This isn't making any sense. So here's hoping. Dum, 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 dum. I'm getting there. I know. I'm fumbling. Here's hoping that the halls of the upper priesthood is great. I'm hoping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is going to be long. 7, 8. Yeah, this is the final thing. But it's not the final thing because there's the gauntlet. So we'll do the halls of the upper priesthood next, and then we'll do the gauntlet and maybe also the final tomb. Maybe that will be the final thing we will do. And hopefully this is all amazing. I'm hoping. I'm totally going to, if I ever run this, I'm totally going to change this around. I might leave the maze the way it is, the size and scope of it, because that is a challenge. Oh, I don't know. How about runic writings on some of these open areas that will give the people hints? How about a way to navigate through the mists that you might find a way to do it so you're not stumbling and bumbling, and so that you can actually see? How about something somewhere hidden, somewhere that is revealed, and they find that there's this thing, and then we'll be able to do it. We'll be able to walk through the mist without, having some sight. Like, it doesn't have to be complete, but like they can't see a thing. And there's one wizard wandering around in here because he got lost in here. When? How long? How did he get lost in here? Was he walked, he came to the pyramid by himself? That just doesn't make any sense, man. So D for Kordan's Master Maze. Let's hope the Halls of the Upper Priesthood is an A, at least a B. Same with the Gauntlet. Because wow, am I frustrated by this. Hope, well, I'm not going to say hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Am I just wrong? Am I just not thinking this through correctly? I hope Ye Olde Geek will leave a comment. I hope you will see this. I will. I'm certain I'll remember to put the link to his review because it's really good. It's really good. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.